Hello, my dear students. So, in the last class, we have discussed regarding the qualitative properties of solution chapter. So, out of four, we have discussed already the three types of qualitative properties, namely relative lowering of vapor pressure, elevation in boiling point, and depression in freezing point. So, if you have any doubts regarding that, you can just message me, or you can go through the videos again and again so that the concepts are clear, right? So we'll discuss now in this class or in this video the last type of colligative properties, which is called as a osmotic pressure, right? Now, before I go for osmotic pressure, we'll discuss with the term called as osmosis, and then we go for the osmotic pressure concept. So osmotic pressure is represented by the symbol pi, right? Now, so I think you have come across the term called as osmosis, diffusion, etc. in your biology also, right? So here, with respect to chemistry, also we are going to study the term called as osmosis. So what is meant by an osmosis? So osmosis is the phenomena of spontaneous flow of solvent molecules. So it is a flow of a solvent molecules through a semi-permeable membrane from pure solvent to solution, right? So don't confuse your, my dear students. So if I take, I'll show you the diagrammatic part also. So osmosis is nothing but a flow of solid molecules through semi-permeable membrane from pure solvent into solution, or from a dilute solution to concentrated solution. So that process we call it as what? Osmosis. Say for example, I have taken a beaker. In a beaker, I have placed one semi-permeable membrane. So one side of the semi-permeable membrane we have solution. In another part of the semi-permeable membrane we have got a solution. So from the if there is movement of pure solvent into the solution through semi-permeable membrane. So that process we call it as what? Osmosis. Or I can go with respect to the diagrammatic part here. You can see with respect to diagrammatic part. So here I have taken a beaker, right? So there is a semi-permeable membrane, right? So semi-permeable membrane is nothing but a thin sheet of paper which is having a which has got a small size of holes. So it differs with respect to the four sides of the holes of each membrane, right? So semi-permeable membranes usually have smaller pores or smaller holes. So right. So what is happening in osmosis process? So here I have got a sugar molecules, right? Now the bigger one is sugar, and this small molecules here nothing but your solid molecules. Now here there is one more part of the solution. Now what is happening here is here small blue color particles which you are showing, which you are seeing is nothing but your solvent, and sugar is your solute. So according to the definition of your osmosis, the movement of a pure solvent into the solution through the semi-permeable membrane is called as what? Osmosis. So here you can see, so the particles which are present here blue color are nothing but your pure solid molecules. They are moving from this part to this part through semi-permeable membrane. So hence the level of this side it is going to increase. So such a process of movement of pure solid molecules into solution through semi-permeable membranes are called as what? Osmosis process, or movement of the particles from dilute solution to concentrated solution. So here it is a dilute solution, so it is moving into the concentrated solution. So hence that process we call it as what? Osmosis. So I think with the diagrammatic part it is clear, students. So for osmosis, what we require here is a semi-permeable membranes which allows only the solvent molecules. Now it is very important, students. Now this semi-permeable membrane does not allow the solute particles. It allows only the solvent particles. So because the size of the solute is greater when compared to that of the size of the solvent, so hence solvent molecules can easily move from this part to this part through semi-permeable membrane. So such movement of pure solvent molecules into the solution through the semi-permeable membrane is referred to as what? Osmosis process, right? So I think with the definition part it is clear. So in the definition part you can say, I will repeat once again, it is the phenomena of movement of solvent molecules through semi-permeable membrane from pure solvent into the solution, or from dilute solution to concentrated solution. That process we call it as what? Osmosis process. Now what is semi-permeable membrane, or what are the examples for semi-permeable membranes? So semi-permeable membranes are nothing but the membranes which has got the smaller pore size and which allows only the pure solvent molecules to pass through it, not the solute particles. Now in examination they may ask with respect to the some of the examples related to semi-permeable membrane. So either the semi-permeable membrane may be a natural semi-permeable membrane, or it may be a chemical or artificial. Artificial means which we can synthesize. So for natural semi-permeable membrane, the example includes animal bladder or cell membrane or etc. Whereas for artificial, there is one example called as a copper ferrocyanide, whose formula is Cu2FeCN6. Right. So this is the formula which is an example for artificial semi-permeable membrane, which is the example copper ferrocyanide. So this membrane which does not work in non-aqueous solution. Now it is very important, students. Now this artificial semi-permeable membrane works only in aqueous solution, whereas in non-aqueous solution it does not, because it dissolves in them. This artificial gets dissolved in the non-aqueous, so hence this cannot be applied in a non-aqueous, but it works only with respect to aqueous solutions, right? So for semi-permeable membranes, either it may be a natural or it may be an artificial. So for natural, the example includes animal bladder or cell membranes, etc. Whereas for artificial, there is one example called as copper ferrocyanide. Now we go for osmotic pressure. So pressure, the pressure exerted by what is osmotic pressure is represented by the symbol pi. Now how to calculate the osmotic pressure? Now osmotic pressure can be calculated by the formula pi is equal to R into C into T, where R is universal gas constant, C is the concentration of solution, T is the temperature. Now we know that concentration of a solution is number of moles of solute to volume of a solution. Now number of moles of solute is also given by the term WB divided by MB. What is WB? Weight of solute divided by molecular mass of solute into volume. So here students, what is the concentration of solution given by NB divided by V? What is NB? Number of moles of solute divided by volume of solvent, right? That whereas NB, number of moles of solute, is also represented by WB by MB, where WB is nothing but weight of solute and MB is nothing but molecular mass of solute. Now substitute this value in the expression called C. So the equation will be equal to MB is equal to WB into R into T divided by pi into V, where MB is the molecular mass of solute, weight of solute, universal gas constant, temperature divided by osmotic pressure into volume of solution, right? So if I want osmotic pressure, so in terms of density, so osmotic pressure pi is equal to D into R into T divided by MB. What is D here? Density. R is universal gas constant, T is temperature, M is molecular mass of solute. Now how did I get this value D? D is equal to, we know that density is equal to weight by volume. So if I substitute WB by V as density, this is the term for the density of solution using osmotic pressure. So there are three formulas: either pi is equal to R into C into T, or MB is equal to WB into R into T divided by pi into V, or pi is equal to D into R into T divided by MB. So I repeat, where D is called as what? Density, R is the universal gas constant or solution constant, T is temperature, and MB is the molar mass of solute, right? So this formula you remember, children. We are going to solve some of the problems related to this, and instead of concentration we are going to refer the term as pi is equal to N into R into T. Osmotic pressure is equal to N into R into T, where N is the number of moles of solute. So that is also one of the formula which we are going to use for solving the problem, right? Now osmosis may be of two types, right? That is, one is called as exoosmosis and second one is called as endoosmosis. Now as the name indicates, exo and endo. Exo refers to outside, endo refers to inside. Now what is exo and endoosmosis? We will see here. So exoosmosis is nothing but it is the outward flow of water or solvent from a cell through semi-permeable membrane. So this is very simple definition. If I take a single cell, right, you know that there is a cell particle, right? So if from the inside cell, right, so if water molecules or solid molecules move from inside to outside, so through semi-permeable membrane, that process we call it as what? Exoosmosis. So simple ಆದ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸು ಏನಂತಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ನಾನು ಒಂದು ಸೆಲ್ ತೊಗೊಂಡಿನಿ, ಆ ಸೆಲ್ ಒಳಗೆ ವಾಟರ್ ಅಥವಾ ಸಾಲಿಡ್ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ಸ್ ಇತ್ತಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಆ ಒಳಗಿರುವಂಥ ವಾಟರ್ ಸಾಲಿಡ್ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ಸ್ ಏನಾದರೂ ಔಟ್ವರ್ಡ್ ಫ್ಲೋ ಆಯ್ತಂದ್ರೆ ಥ್ರೂ ಸೆಮಿ ಪರ್ಮಿಯಬಲ್ ಮೆಂಬ್ರೇನ್, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನೇನು ಕರಿತೀವಿ, ಎಕ್ಸೋ ಆಸ್ಮೋಸಿಸ್ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಎಂಡೋ ಆಸ್ಮೋಸಿಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಅಪೋಸಿಟ್. ಏನದು? ಎಂಡೋ ಆಸ್ಮೋಸಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಇನ್ವರ್ಡ್ ಫ್ಲೋ ಆಫ್ ವಾಟರ್ ಆರ್ ಸಾಲ್ವೆಂಟ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಎ ಸೆಲ್ through semi-permeable membrane. Say for example, I have placed a cell in a water. So what will happen? That water or solid molecules will move inside the cell through semi-permeable membrane. So that process we call it as what? Endoosmosis. So here easy to remember. Exo refers to outside. If the movement of solid molecules is outside, then it is called as exoosmosis. If the movement of solid molecules is through inside the cell, then it is called as endoosmosis. Both the process occurs in presence of semi-permeable membrane. So this is very important definition. Some of the time it is asked for 1 marks. Now, osmotic pressure. So I had said here in the previous slide, osmotic pressure, that is pi. What is osmotic pressure? We will see here. So osmotic pressure is nothing but the hydrostatic pressure which is developed on the solution, which prevents the osmosis of pure solvent into the solution through semi-permeable membrane, is called as osmotic pressure. ಏನದು ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಆದ ಡೆಫಿನೇಷನ್ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ಈಗ ಆಸ್ಮೋಸಿಸ್ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸ್ ಆಗಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಯಾವ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಈ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸ್ನ ಸ್ಟಾಪ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೋ, that process we call it as what? Osmotic pressure. Now we know that osmosis will move. What is osmosis? It is movement of solid molecules into the solution through the semi-permeable membrane. If that process is stopped, or if the pressure, hydrostatic pressure which is developed, which prevents this process, that we call it as what? Osmotic pressure. So in the previous slide, say for example, so here you have seen, we'll note ಇದ್ರೊಳಗೆ ಏನೈತೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ಇದ್ರೊಳಗಿರುವಂಥ ಸಾಲಿಡ್ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಮೂವ್ ಇನ್ ಟು ದ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಥ್ರೂ ಸೆಮಿ ಪರ್ಮಿಯಬಲ್ ಮೆಂಬ್ರೇನ್. ಇಫ್ ದಿಸ್ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸ್ ಈಸ್ ಸ್ಟಾಪ್ಡ್ ಬೈ ದ ಎಕ್ಸಾಕ್ಟೆಡ್ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಒಂದು ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಈಗ ನಾ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡಿದಂದ್ರೆ ವಾಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪನ್, ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಬರುವಂಥ ಸಾಲಿಡ್ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ಸು ಈ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ಗೆ ಬರಂಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಆ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸ್ಗೆ ಏನು ಕರ್ತೀವಿ, ಅಥವಾ ಆ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ಗೆ ಏನು ಕರ್ತೀವಿ, ಆಸ್ಮೋಟಿಕ್ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಅಂತ ಕರ್ತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಆಸ್ಮೋಟಿಕ್ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಇಸ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ ದ ಹೈಡ್ರೋಸ್ಟಾಟಿಕ್ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ which prevents the osmosis process, is called as what? The osmotic pressure. Now this is very important, students, so just concentrate this, because for 1 marks many a time this is asked, right? So on the basis of osmotic pressure, the solution can be of 3 types. Which are the 3 types? Hypertonic solution, hypotonic solution, and isotonic solution. So there are 3 types of solution based upon the osmotic pressure. Which are those? Hypertonic solution, hypotonic solution, and isotonic solution. So most of the time students get confused with respect to hyper and hypo. So don't confuse here, it is very simple one. So first we are going to see hypertonic solution. Hypertonic solution is a solution, it is called as hypertonic if osmotic pressure is higher than that of the solution from which it is separated by semi-permeable membrane. ಈಗ ಒಂದು ಆಸ್ಮೋಟಿಕ್ ಪ್ರೆಷರು ಎರಡು ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ತೊಗೊಂತೀನಿ, ಅದರ ಆಸ್ಮೋಟಿಕ್ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿಗಿತ್ತಂದ್ರೆ ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಆಸ್ಮೋಟಿಕ್ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ಗಿಂತ, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ವಾಟ್? ಹೈಪರ್ಟೋನಿಕ್. ಸೊ ಹೈಪರ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿಗೆ ಅಂತ ಅರ್ಥ. ಸೊ ಇಫ್ ದ osmotic pressure is higher than that of the solution which is separated through semi-permeable membrane, is called as what? Hypertonic solution. Hypo ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ if the osmotic pressure is lesser than that of the solution, then we call it as what? Hypo. So hyper ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ, hypo ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕಮ್ಮಿ. ಸೊ ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಆಸ್ಮೋಟಿಕ್ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಏನಾದರೂ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇತ್ತಂದ್ರೆ, ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಸೆಪ್ರೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಸೆಮಿ ಪರ್ಮಿಯಬಲ್ ಮೆಂಬ್ರೇನ್ ಸೆಪ್ರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನು ಕರಿತೀವಿ? ಹೈಪರ್ಟೋನಿಕ್ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಈಗ ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಆಸ್ಮೋಟಿಕ್ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಇತ್ತು, then that is called as what? Hypotonic solution. So hypertonic solution ಗೆ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಯಾವುದು? When a plant cell is placed in a hypertonic solution, the fluid from the plant cell comes out and the cell shrinks. Now this is very important, students. So cell shrinks ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಒಂದ್ಸಲ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರು ಇದನ್ನ, ಏನಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಸೆಲ್ನ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಇಟ್ಟಾಗ ಸೆಲ್ ಶ್ರಿಂಕ್ ಆದರೆ ಯಾವ ಟೈಪ್ ಆಫ್ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರು. ಸೊ ಇಫ್ ಸೆಲ್ ಗೆಟ್ಸ್ ಶ್ರಿಂಕ್, ದೆನ್ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ವಾಟ್? ಹೈಪರ್ಟೋನಿಕ್ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್. ಇದನ್ನ ಡಯಾಗ್ರಾಮೆಟಿಕ್ ಆಗಿ ತೋರಿಸ್ತೀನಿ, then you will understand easily. So in case of hypotonic solution, the cells will get shrink ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಬಟ್ಟಿ ಹಿಂಡಿದಾಗ ಆಗ್ತದಲ್ಲ, ಸೊ ಸಣ್ಣದಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಸೈಜ್ ಸೆಲ್ಲಿಂದು, ರೈಟ್? ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಡ್ಯೂ ಟು hypertonic solution, right? Or this is also called as a process called as plasmolysis. You might have heard in the biological term also, plasmolysis ಒಳಗೆ cell will get shrink. So I repeat once again, hypertonic solution ಅಂದ್ರೆ if the osmotic pressure of the solution is greater right? Then that is said to be as hypotonic solution. In hypertonic solution, the cell gets shrink. Hypotonic solution ಅಂದ್ರೆ if the osmotic pressure exerted is lesser than the solution, then it is said to be as what? Hypotonic solution. Now in case of your hypotonic solution, cell will not shrink, it will swell. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ in this case cell will be swelling. Swelling ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ತೋರಿಸ್ತೀನಿ ಡಯಾಗ್ರಾಮೆಟಿಕ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಅದ. ಸೊ ಡಯಾಗ್ರಾಮೆಟಿಕ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಒಳಗೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಸ್ವೆಲ್ಲಿಂಗ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಉಬ್ಬೋದು. Cell will what? It will get swell. So in case of hypotonic solution, there is swelling of the cells, whereas in hypertonic solution there is shrinking of a cell. Now when you go for the the third type of solution called as isotonic solution, here the two solutions are called isotonic if they exit same osmotic pressure. So ಎರಡು solution ಒಳಗೆ ಏನಾದರೂ osmotic pressure ಸೇಮ್ ಇತ್ತು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಕರಿತೀವಿ? Isotonic solution ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ನೋಡ್ರಿ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್, if the osmotic pressure of the two solutions are same, then it is isotonic solution. If the osmotic pressure of the one of the solution is greater than the other, then it is called as hypertonic. If the osmotic pressure of the one of the solution is lesser, then that is called as hypotonic solution. So in hypertonic, the cell will shrink. In hypotonic, the cell will swell, whereas in isotonic solution there is no absorption. So since the osmotic pressure is same, the cell does not undergo any changes. So these solutions have same molar concentration. So ಒಂದು ಉದಾಹರಣೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟರೆ ಏನಂತಂದ್ರೆ 0.9% or 91% of solution of NaCl is isotonic with human RBC. ನೋಡಿ ಇದು ಒಂದು ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. 0.91% of solution of NaCl, which is commonly called as saline. ನೋಡ್ರಿ ಇದೊಂದು ಸರಿ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಒಳಗ 0.9% of sodium chloride or what is saline ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ. So saline is nothing but 0.9% solution of pure NaCl. ಇದನ್ನ ನಾವೇನಾದರೂ RBC ಒಳಗೆ ಇಟ್ಟಿವಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ the cell does not either go shrinkage or swelling because the osmotic pressure of both are same. So hence that is said to be as what? Isotonic solution. So if the osmotic pressure exerted by the both the solutions are same, then it is called as isotonic solution. Now here very important one. So here you can see with the diagrammatic part the three types of solution. One is hypertonic, second one is hypotonic, and third one is isotonic. ಇದು ಸೆಲ್ ರೈಟ್. ಈ ಸೆಲ್ ಅಕಸ್ಮಾತ್ ಈ ಸೆಲ್ ಒಳಗಿಂದ ಏನಾದರೂ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ವಾಟರ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ಸಾಲಿಡ್ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ಸ್ ಮೂವ್ ಆಯ್ತಂದ್ರೆ then it is called as what? Hypotonic. And you can see here there is a shrinkage of cell. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸಣ್ಣದಾಗೈತೆ ನೋಡಿ, ಈ ಸೆಲ್ ಸೈಜ್ ಹಿಂಗಿತ್ತು ರೈಟ್. ಬಟ್ ಇದೇನೈತಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ವಾಟ್ ಸಾಲಿಡ್ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ಸ್ ಮೂವ್ ಆದ ತಕ್ಷಣ cell ಏನಾಯ್ತು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ವೆಲ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. It is nothing but shrinkage, right? So this is called as what? Cell shrinkage. So cell shrinking is observed in case of hypotonic solution. So when it is observed, when the osmotic pressure is higher, and this is observed in case, as you might have heard with the term called as plasmolysis, right? In hypotonic ಒಳಗೆ ಏನಾಗೈತಿ, ಹೊರಗಿರುವಂಥ ಸಾಲಿಡ್ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲಾನು ಸೆಲ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಎಂಟರ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ ಆನ್ outward flow of the solid molecules. So it's nothing but exoosmosis. Here is inward flow, that is called as endoosmosis. So hypertonic is example for exo, and hypotonic is example for endo. So ಇಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ solid molecules cell ಒಳಗೆ ಎಂಟರ್ ಆದ ತಕ್ಷಣ so cell will be swelling. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ swelling observation ನೋಡ್ರಿ, ಇದು shrink, ಇದು swelling. But in case of isotonic, neither there is inward or outward flow of the solid molecules because the osmotic pressure of both the solution are same. So hence it remains same. So that is said to be as isotonic solution. So very important students, ಬಹಳಷ್ಟು ಹುಡುಗರು hypertonic, hypotonic, isotonic ಒಳಗೆ ಕನ್ಫ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಾರೆ. Hypotonic ಒಳಗ osmotic pressure of one of the solution is greater. Hypotonic ಒಳಗ osmotic pressure of one of the solution is lesser. If the osmotic pressure of both the solution is same, then it is called as isotonic. Hypotonic ಒಳಗ cell undergoes shrinkage. Hypotonic ಒಳಗ it undergoes swelling. So in case of isotonic, it does not go under shrinkage or swelling, right? So very important terminologies. So you should remember for 1 marks important question. Now before I go for the solving the problems of related to the osmotic pressure, we go for the one more important concept related to the osmosis, that is called as reverse osmosis. ಇದು ಕೂಡ 1 marks important. ಇದರ ಡೆಫಿನೇಷನ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರ. ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಮೆಂಟ್ ಬೈ ರಿವರ್ಸ್ ಆಸ್ಮೋಸಿಸ್? ನೋಡ್ರಿ, ಅಪೋಸಿಟ್ ಆಸ್ಮೋಸಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಅಪೋಸಿಟ್ ರಿವರ್ಸ್ ಆಸ್ಮೋಸಿಸ್. ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದಟ್ ಒನ್? ರಿವರ್ಸ್ ಆಸ್ಮೋಸಿಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಾಮನ್ಲಿ ರಿಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟೆಡ್ ಬೈ ದ, ಇದು ಕಾಮನ್ ಆಗಿ ನಾವು ಇದು ಟರ್ಮ್ ನೀವು ನೋಡಿರ್ತೀರಿ ಆರ್ ಒ ಅಂತಂದು ಯೂಶಲಿ ನೀವು ಕೇಳಿರ್ತೀರಿ. ಸೊ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇಳ್ತೀರಿ ಇದು ಆರ್ ಒ ಅಂತಂದು? ಆರ್ ಒ ಪ್ಯೂರಿಫೈಯರ್ ವಾಟರ್ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ತೀರಿ, ರೈಟ್? ಆರ್ ಒ is nothing but your reverse osmosis. So what is reverse osmosis? It is nothing but when the external pressure applied on the solution is more than the osmotic pressure. ನೋಡ್ರಿ, ಯಾವಾಗ ಹೊರಗಡೆಯಿಂದ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ಗೆ ಅದು ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರ್ತದ ಇದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಆಸ್ಮೋಟಿಕ್ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ಗಿಂತ, the solvent flows from solution to the pure solvent, which is called as reverse osmosis, right? ಸೊ ಉದಾಹರಣೆಗೆ ಏನಾಗಿತ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಈಗ ನೀವು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಡಯಾಗ್ರಾಮ್ ನೋಡಿರ್ತೀರಿ, ರೈಟ್? ಸೊ ವಿತ್ ರೆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ ಟು ದ ಆಸ್ಮೋಸಿಸ್, ರೈಟ್? ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದಟ್ ಒನ್? ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ, ಆಸ್ಮೋಸಿಸ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಏನಾಗ್ತಿತ್ತು, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಶುಗರ್ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಇತ್ತು, ರೈಟ್? ಅದರೊಳಗಿರುವಂಥ ಪ್ಯೂರ್ ಸಾಲ್ವೆಂಟ್ ಏನಾಗ್ತಿತ್ತು, ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಮೂವ್ ಇನ್ ಟು ದ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್, ರೈಟ್? ಸೊ ಥ್ರೂ ಸೆಮಿ ಪರ್ಮಿಯಬಲ್ ಮೆಂಬ್ರೇನ್, ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಆಸ್ಮೋಸಿಸ್. ಬಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ರಿವರ್ಸ್ ಆಸ್ಮೋಸಿಸ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಏನಾಗ್ತೈತಿ, ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಒಳಗಿರುವಂಥ ಸಾಲ್ವೆಂಟ್, right? So please students don't confuse here with respect to the osmosis and reverse osmosis. So osmosis reverse osmosis ಒಳಗೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ osmosis ಒಳಗ solvent molecule it moves into the solution, right, through semi permeable membrane. But reverse osmosis ಒಳಗೆ ಏನಾಗ್ತೈತಿ, solution ಒಳಗಿರುವಂತ solvent molecules it moves into the solid molecules through semi permeable membrane. ಉಲ್ಟಾ ಆಗತ್ತೆ ರೀ ನೋಡ್ರಿ, ಆಸ್ಮೋಸಿಸ್ ಒಳಗ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಒಳಗಿರುವಂಥ ಸಾಲ್ವೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ಸ್, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ಯೂರ್ ಸಾಲ್ವೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ತಾವೆ, ಇದ್ರೊಳಗಿಂದ ಇಟ್ ಮೂವ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ಟು ದ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಥ್ರೂ ಸೆಮಿ ಪರ್ಮೇಬಲ್ ಮೆಂಬ್ರೇನ್. ಬಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ರಿವರ್ಸ್ ಆಸ್ಮೋಸಿಸ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಏನಾಗ್ತೈತಿ, ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಒಳಗಿರುವಂಥ ಸಾಲ್ವೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ಸು ಇಟ್ ಮೂವ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ಟು ದ ಪ್ಯೂರ್ ಸಾಲ್ವೆಂಟ್ ಥ್ರೂ ಸೆಮಿ ಪರ್ಮೇಬಲ್ membrane, that is called as the reverse osmosis. So here you can see the definition or diagrammatic part. ಒಂದು ಉದಾಹರಣೆ ಏನಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಸಾಲ್ಟ್ ವಾಟರ್ ತೊಗೊಂಡಿನಿ, ಉಪ್ಪಿನ ನೀರು. ಸೊ ಸಮುದ್ರದ ನೀರನ್ನ ಅಥವಾ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಯೂಶಲಿ ವಾಟರ್ ಪ್ಯೂರಿಫೈರ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತೈತಿ, ನಿಮ್ಮ ನೀರೊಳಗೆ ಟ್ಯಾಂಕಿನ ನೀರೊಳಗೆ ಇರ್ತೈತೆ ಉಪ್ಪಿನ ನೀರು ಅಂತ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಆ ಉಪ್ಪಿನ ನೀರೊಳಗಿಂದ ನಾವು ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಐ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಇನ್ ಟು ಪ್ಯೂರ್ ಡ್ರಿಂಕಿಂಗ್ ವಾಟರ್, ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಡಿಸಲಿನೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ವಾಟರ್. ಸೊ ಡಿಸಲಿನೇಷನ್ ಅಂದರೆ ರಿಮೂವಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಸಾಲ್ಟ್ ವಾಟರ್, ರೈಟ್? ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲೇನಾಗ್ತೈತೆ ನೋಡ್ರಿ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಉಪ್ಪು ಅದ ನೀರು ಅದ, ಇದ್ರೊಳಗೆ ನಾನು ಏನಾಗ್ತೀನಿ, ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. ನಾವು ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ಯುವರ್ ಸಾಲ್ಟ್ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್, ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ಯುವರ್ ಸಾಲ್ಟ್ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್. ಈ ಸಾಲ್ಟ್ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಒಳಗಿಂದು only the water or solid molecules will pass through the semi-permeable membrane so that I get fresh or pure water. What will happen to the salt? It will remove here only. So that process is called as what? Reverse osmosis. So reverse osmosis is nothing but when an applied pressure is applied, if the solvent molecules from solutions moves through the semi-permeable membrane, that process we call it as what? Reverse osmosis. So one of the best application, this is very important. Exam ಒಳಗೆ ಒಂದ್ಸಲ ಕೇಳಾರ, what is the application of reverse osmosis? It helps in desalination of sea water. What is desalination? ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಬಹುದು diagrammatic part ಒಳಗೆ. desalination ಒಳಗೆ ಏನಾಗ್ತೈತಿ, ರಿಮೂವಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಸಾಲಿಡ್ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ಸ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಸಾಲ್ಟ್ ವಾಟರ್. ಸೊ ಸಾಲ್ಟ್ನ ಮತ್ತು ನೀರನ್ನ ಸೆಪರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಡಿಸಲಿನೇಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಒನ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ಆಫ್ ರಿವರ್ಸ್ ಆಸ್ಮೋಸಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಡಿಸಲಿನೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಸಾಲ್ಟ್ ವಾಟರ್. ಸೊ ಐ ರಿಪೀಟ್ ಒನ್ಸ್ ಅಗೇನ್, ರಿವರ್ಸ್ ಆಸ್ಮೋಸಿಸ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟು. ಎರಡು ಮೂರು ಸಲ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಕೇಳೋದು ಏನಂತಂದರೆ, define reverse osmosis, give one of its application. Reverse osmosis is nothing but the process in which the solution moves, the solvent moves from solution into pure solvent through semi-permeable membrane, is called as reverse osmosis. One of the application of this one is in desalination of seawater is done by the process of the reverse osmosis, right? So we have discussed in today's class regarding the fourth type of colligative properties, that is osmotic pressure. So before osmotic pressure we have discussed regarding the term called as osmosis. So osmosis is nothing but the movement of solvent from solution into movement of solvent into the solution through semi-permeable membrane is called as what? Osmosis. And also we have seen the semi-permeable membranes are of different types, either natural or artificial. Then also we have seen on the osmosis may be either endo-osmosis or exo-osmosis. And also we have seen, based upon the osmotic pressure, the types of solution will be hypertonic, hypotonic, isotonic. And also we have seen the formula related to that of your osmotic pressure. And lastly we have seen with respect to the reverse osmosis. Then lastly we will go with respect to the problematic or numerical problems related to that of your osmotic pressure. Now this is very important for 3 marks related to question number 28A. That is out of 4, any one colligative properties numerical problems will be asked. So we will go directly with respect to the numerical problem related to that of osmotic pressure. So here also we are calculating the molecular mass of a solute using osmotic pressure. So we will see the numerical part here. So here what is the question asked is, A solution of 2.04 gram of hemoglobin in 100 ml of solution has osmotic pressure 5.83 mm of mercury at 22.5 degrees Celsius. What is the molecular mass of hemoglobin? What? ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಐಡೆಂಟಿಫೈ ವಾಟ್ ಆರ್ ದ ಗಿವನ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಹಿಯರ್ the mass of solute is 2.04 grams. The weight of solvent they have given 100 ml, and temperature they are given, and osmotic pressure they are given. You have to calculate the molecular mass. So we know the equation, that is PV is equal to nRT. Sorry, pi V. Sorry, it is not PV. Sorry, pi into V is equal to nRT, where pi is the osmotic pressure, V is the volume, N is number of moles, R is universal gas constant, and T is temperature. Now we know that number of moles of solute is given by W2 divided by M2. What is W2? Weight of solute divided by molecular mass of solute. Now rearrange the terms, right? So pi is equal to, right, so here we have taken in this part, that is it undergoes denominator, so pi will be equal to w2 into r into 2 divided by m2 into v. So we require m2. They have asked to calculate molecular mass, so molecular mass m2 is equal to w2 into r into t divided by osmotic pressure pi into v. Now substitute the values. Weight of solute they are given 2.04, and r is equal to, they are given, it is a value, r is equal to 0.0821. You know, in the first year you calculate the universal gas constant value, into 760 mm of hg, since they are given in millimeter of mercury, so you have to multiply by 760 into 1 atm is equal to 760 atmosphere, right? So that you should, 1 atmosphere is equal to 760 mm of hg. So you should remember this, into 290 5.5. How it is 295.5? This 22.5 degrees Celsius is converted into Kelvin, so it should be added with 273. You will get 295.5 divided by osmotic pressure. They have given us 5.83 into 100. ನೋಡ್ರಿ R into 760 ಎದೆ ಮಾಡ್ಯಾರ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, here since they have given the term in terms of mercury mm of hg, so 1 atmosphere is equal to 760 mm of hg, so we have multiplied by 760. So when I simplify, the molecular mass of solute will nearly be equal to 6.45 into 10 raised to 4 grams per liter. So this is one of the type of problem related to that of osmotic pressure. Now in this we have seen the calculation of molecular mass of solute. We'll go for the next type, the second problem. What is the second problem here? Calculate the molar concentration of sugar, SU, it should be sugar solution, which exerts an osmotic pressure of 2.5 atmosphere at 300 Kelvin, and they are given the R value, that is 0.0821 liter atmosphere per Kelvin per mole. This is in terms of liter atmosphere, right? So write down the given things as I have said. Hengs solve ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಂತಂದ್ರೆ osmotic pressure ಕೊಟ್ಟಾರ, ಟೆಂಪ್ರೇಚರ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಾರ, ಆರ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಕೇಳಾರ. ಈಗ ಏನು ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮೋಲಾರ್ ಕಾನ್ಸಂಟ್ರೇಷನ್, ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ ಸಿ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ನಾನು ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಟರ್ಮ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಇದೆ, ಏನದು ಇಕ್ವೇಶನ್, ಪೈ ಈಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಟು ಸಿ ಇಂಟು ಆರ್ ಇಂಟು ಟಿ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಸೇಮ್ ಇಕ್ವೇಶನ್ ಯೂಸ್ಡ್ ಹಿಯರ್, ಪೈ ಈಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಟು ಸಿ ಇಂಟು ಆರ್ ಇಂಟು ಟಿ. ಸೊ ನಂಗೆ ಸಿ ಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು, ಸಿ ಈಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಟು ಪೈ ಡಿವೈಡೆಡ್ ಬೈ ಆರ್ ಇಂಟು ಟಿ. ಸೊ ಇಫ್ ಐ ವಾಂಟ್ ಟು ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಕಾನ್ಸಂಟ್ರೇಷನ್, osmotic pressure they have given as 2.5, R value they have given 0.0821, right, 0.0821 into the temperature they have given as 500 Kelvin. So when I simplify, I'll get the concentrated solution equal to 0.1016, that is nearly equal to 0.1 molar. So concentration here is expressed in terms of molarity, so C is equal to 0.1 molar. So this is the second type of problem related to osmotic pressure. So ಮೊದಲನೇ ಟೈಪ್ ಒಳಗ ನಾವೇನು ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿವಿ, ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಮಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿವಿ. ಎರಡನೇದ್ರೊಳಗ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ವಿತ್ ರೆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ ಟು ಕಾನ್ಸಂಟ್ರೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಟ್, ರೈಟ್? Now solution. Okay, third one, calculate the OP, osmotic pressure, of a solution prepared by dissolving 1.8 gram of glucose in 1 liter of solution at 300 Kelvin. The molecular mass of glucose they are given as 180 grams per mole, and R value is equal to 0.083 bar liter per mole per Kelvin, right? So ಇಲ್ಲಿ osmotic pressure calculate ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, that is pi. They are given what they are given, mass of solute they are given, volume of solution they are given, temperature they are given, molecular mass of solute they are given, and R value also they are given. So using this data, the formula we know that pi is equal to n into R into T. ಈ formula ನಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತೈತಿ. ಈಗ n ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ರಿ. ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ n? ವೇಟ್ ಬೈ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಮಾಸ್. ಸೊ ಇದು ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ pi is equal to r into t into w whole divided by m into v, where w is mass, weight of solute, m is equal to molecular mass of solute into volume. So now here, so they are given the given things: T is equal to 300 Kelvin temperature, weight is equal to solute 1.8 gram, molecular mass is equal to 180 grams per mole, and volume they are given 1 liter. So substitute the values. Pi is equal to R is 0.083 other, T is equal to 300 Kelvin into W, weight of solute is 1.8 gram, divided by, that is molecular mass of solute 180 and ಕೊಟ್ಟರ, and volume of solution they are given is 1 liter. So ಇದನ್ನು calculate ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ osmotic pressure is nearly equal to 0.2496. Now remember children, don't forget to write the SI unit here. There is nothing but bar. Osmotic pressure is expressed in terms of bar. So this is with respect to the osmotic pressure problem which they have asked. Then we go for the last type of problem related to osmotic pressure. That is, the question is, at 298 Kelvin, osmotic pressure of a solution containing 5.5 gram of solute in 200 ml of solution is found to be 2.4 atmosphere. What is the molar mass of solute? And they are given the R value is equal to 0.082 liter atmosphere per Kelvin per mole. Now, what are the given things here? Temperature ಕೊಟ್ಟರ 298 Kelvin, osmotic pressure ಕೊಟ್ಟರ ಎಷ್ಟು 2.4 atmosphere, weight of solute 5.5 grams ಕೊಟ್ಟರ, volume of solution 200 ml ಕೊಟ್ಟರ. ಈಗ m2 mb ಅಥವಾ m2 ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಆ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಕೊಟ್ಟರ. ಸೊ ವಿ ನೋ ದಟ್ pi is equal to r into t into w, weight of solute divided by molecular mass of solute into volume. ನಮಗೆ ಏನು ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಈಗ molar mass m ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಪ್ರೀವಿಯಸ್ ಆಗಿ ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಿವಿ ಇದೇ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ನ, ಈ ಟೈಪ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ನ, ರೈಟ್. ಸೊ ಸೇಮ್ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಹಿಯರ್. So m is equal to r into t into w divided by pi into v. So given things I have written here: temperature 298 Kelvin, weight of solute 5.5 grams, osmotic pressure 2.4 atmosphere, volume of solution given here is 200 ml, but we have to write in terms of liter. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ r is equal to also is given in terms of liter. So 200 ml is converted into liter ಅಂದ್ರೆ 0.2 liters ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. So substitute these values. m is equal to r is equal to 0.082, temperature T is equal to 298 Kelvin, and weight W is equal to 5.5 gram into 2.4. There is nothing but osmotic pressure into volume of solution is 0.2. So molecular mass of solute when we calculate, that is equal to 280 grams per mole. So this is all the related with respect to the problems of osmotic pressure. So I have solved here 4 different types of problems related to osmotic pressure. So I repeat once again, 4 ಒಳಗೆ ಯಾವುದನ್ನ 4 ಕ್ವಾಲಿಟೇಟಿವ್ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಟೀಸ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಅಂತ ನ್ಯೂಮೆರಿಕಲ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಎಷ್ಟು ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರೋ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಅಷ್ಟು ಬಹಳ ಈಸಿ. ಸೊ ಟ್ರೈ ಟು ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಆಸ್ ಮಚ್ ಆಸ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್ ರಿಲೇಟೆಡ್ ಟು ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಯುವರ್ ಕ್ವಾಲಿಟೇಟಿವ್ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಟೀಸ್. ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಸಿಂಪಲ್ಸ್, ರೈಟ್. ಸೊ ಭಾಳ ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಅವರಿ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸು. 3 marks you can score easily, right? So this is all related to that of your osmotic pressure, osmosis, and reverse osmosis. So in the next video or next class, there is a small concept left out that we'll see in the next class or next video. So dear students, try to see this video as much as possible, so that if any concepts or any doubts are remaining, you can understand easily. If you have any doubts, you can just message me, or you can see the videos in YouTube also by going to my channel, that is Suresh Bhatt. You can click in the YouTube, go for the videos which I have uploaded. If you want regularly to see the videos without my intimation, you can subscribe there. Subscribe ಅಂತ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ನಾ ಯಾವಾಗ ಹೊಸ ವಿಡಿಯೋ ಅಪ್ಲೋಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನೋ ಅವಾಗ ನಿಮಗೆ ಈಸಿಯಾಗಿ ಮೆಸೇಜ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸಿ ದ ವಿಡಿಯೋಸ್ ಅಗೇನ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಅಗೇನ್, right? So please go through the videos. So if you have any doubts, please confirm or ask the doubts and personally, right? You can message me with regarding the doubts. Okay. So with this, I will end up the concept related to the 4th type of qualitative properties, that is called as osmotic pressure, right? Okay. Thank you.